I always knew Blueface was pretty stupid. I'm gonna tell you why. Blueface is signed to Wack100 and managed by Wack100. Let me tell you how this works. When you sign to a label, they take at least half already. Then you're getting managed by the guy who owns the label. So of your 50% that you're getting, or less than 50%, he's still taking at least 20% of that too. It's double dipping. You get what I'm saying?
Wack100 was supposed to be Blueface's manager and business partner, but instead, Blueface says he was getting quietly drained for years. Millions gone, deals twisted, and the whole thing played out right in front of everyone's face like a slow-motion finesse. Let's break down how one of hip-hop's most controversial managers allegedly pulled off one of the wildest business plays the industry has seen. Wack100 is a well-known music manager from Los Angeles, famous for loud opinions, non-stop drama, and standing next to artists who stay in controversy. Born Cash Jones, Wack built his name around street reputation before sliding into the music industry. He's worked with artists like The Game and Ray J, but his connection to Blueface turned into his most profitable and most questionable move yet. On the other side, Blueface was just a young guy from LA who accidentally tripped into rap fame. Born Jonathan Porter, he came straight from the streets with no industry background at all. When Oceana went viral, everything changed overnight. No lawyers, no business team, no clue how contracts worked, just raw hype and fast money. That's what made Blueface the perfect setup. A new artist, sudden fame, zero protection, and money coming in from every angle. According to Blueface himself, everything started with Wack100's daughter hearing Oceana and putting her dad onto the song. Once Wack heard it, he didn't waste a second. He slid straight into Blueface's DMs trying to lock in a meeting immediately. But Blueface wasn't feeling it at first. When you Google Wack100, all you see is chaos, arguments, and non-stop controversy. Blueface later admitted he was standoffish from jump, saying when people talk about Wack, it's always nothing but crazy stuff surrounding his name. On top of that, it got even more awkward. Back in the day, Wack100 was known by the nickname Crip Killer Wack, and Blueface was a Crip himself. That alone made the situation feel risky and uncomfortable. Still, Wack wasn't backing off at all. He kept calling, texting, and blowing up Blueface's phone non-stop, trying to get him to pull up to his house for a face-to-face meeting. Blueface ignored the calls for a while, until one of his homies told him to at least hear Wack out and see what he was talking about. At this point, Blueface was fully independent, booking his own shows, shooting his own videos, handling everything solo. Major labels like Atlantic and Empire were already circling, but Blueface felt like they didn't understand his street background at all. When someone at Atlantic even asked if he was Crip or Cry, that's when it clicked. These corporate people clearly didn't get him. Later that day, Blueface was chilling at a park in the hood when Wack started calling again. Blueface didn't want to go, but Wack sent a car anyway. When Blueface finally pulled up to Wack100's mansion, he was instantly impressed. He later said that when you see somebody who really got it, it makes you think, yeah, I want that too. And that was exactly the setup Wack wanted. Flash the lifestyle, show the power, and make Blueface believe Wack was the key to that level of success.
I always knew Blueface was pretty stupid. I'm gonna tell you why. Blueface is signed to Wack100 and managed by Wack100. Let me tell you how this works. When you sign to a label, they take at least half already. Then you're getting managed by the guy who owns the label. So of your 50% that you're getting, or less than 50%, he's still taking at least 20% of that too. It's double dipping. You get what I'm saying?
But here's where it turns dark fast. Wack100 already had a contract printed and ready before Blueface even walked through the door. Let that sink in. No real sit-down, no deep business talk, just paperwork waiting to be signed. That alone screams pressure and control. Then came the most manipulative moment of all. Blueface looked at Wack's wife and straight up asked her, "If I was your son, would you want him signing this?" And she said yes. That answer sealed everything. Based on that response alone, Blueface signed immediately. No lawyer, no time to read, no breakdown of the terms, no clue what he was really agreeing to. He trusted that a mother wouldn't lead him wrong, and that trust cost him big time. Because here's the real play. That contract wasn't just a management deal. It was a management deal and a record deal wrapped into one. That meant Wack100 was getting paid twice off the same money streams. Reports say Wack was taking up to 50% of Blueface's music earnings right off the top, and it gets even uglier from there. After already taking half off the top, Wack100 still collects another 20% as Blueface's manager. Do the math for a second. That's 70% of Blueface's money going straight into Wack's pocket every time a dollar comes in. DJ Academics broke this down on his stream and called it exactly what it is: double dipping. And he wasn't wrong at all. In the music industry, this setup is almost unheard of. Normally, you either sign a record deal or you hire a manager, never both with the same person. That's a straight conflict of interest. A manager is supposed to fight for the artist, negotiate better terms, and protect their money. But how can that happen when the manager is also the one cutting the checks? For context, most management deals sit around 15 to 20%, and most record deals split profits roughly 50-50 after expenses are paid back. That's standard. But Wack100 designed this contract so he wins on every side, while Blueface loses no matter how successful he becomes. And the damage doesn't stop there. These contracts aren't short-term either. They usually lock artists in for multiple albums and several years. That means Wack100 has reportedly been collecting 70% of Blueface's earnings for years, and unless something changes, it keeps going. Fast forward to now, and the results are ugly. Blueface recently came home from jail and was reportedly broke. Think about how crazy that sounds. A rapper with platinum records and massive hits is now struggling financially. His crab restaurant venture hasn't taken off either. When you're only keeping 30% of your own money, it's nearly impossible to build real businesses or long-term investments. Most of the cash has already been siphoned off. Reports even say Blueface may be forced to sell his house. This is exactly how predatory contracts quietly ruin artists from the inside out. While Wack100 is living in mansions and flexing wealth all over social media, the artist who actually made the music is struggling financially. That's the craziest part of this whole situation. And to make it worse, Blueface is still locked into this deal. Even if he wanted out, contracts like this are built to trap you. Either you pay massive penalties, or you burn money in long legal battles. And let's not forget how young Blueface was when this happened. He was barely in his early 20s, fresh out the streets, no business background, no legal knowledge, no protection at all. Wack100 knew exactly that and used it to his advantage. He locked him into a deal that heavily benefits Wack while the artist does all the work. But this goes way bigger than just Blueface. This is a pattern in the music industry. Older, more experienced businessmen targeting young, naive artists who just got a taste of fame. They flash money, create pressure, and rush signatures before the artist can think straight. Looking back now, the red flags were everywhere. A contract already printed before negotiations even started. Mixing record and management deals into one. No time given for legal review. These are textbook predatory tactics, and the most manipulative move of all was using Wack100's wife to validate the deal. That's pure psychological pressure, making it feel like family advice, like trust, when in reality, it was a setup. That's how artists get finessed without even realizing it until it's too late. Industry knowledge really matters, and this situation proves it loud and clear. If Blueface had understood even basic contract language, or had a lawyer look over that paperwork, this whole mess could have been avoided. One signature changed everything. From Wack100's side, he probably feels justified. He did help Blueface move through the industry, open doors, and land bigger shows. But none of that justifies taking 70% of another person's earnings. That's wild by any standard, especially when the artist is the one creating the music and driving the hype. The power balance was completely broken. Wack100 controlled Blueface's career, his money, and his business decisions. That's not a partnership. That's ownership. And when one person owns every angle of your career, they can move your money however they want. The most frustrating part for Blueface is that there's no easy exit. These contracts are built like cages. Getting out usually means paying back advances, covering legal fees, and sometimes coughing up more money than the artist even has. That's the trap. So while Blueface is dealing with financial stress, selling property, and handling legal problems, Wack100 reportedly keeps collecting that 70% cut off everything Blueface does. That adds up to millions over time, money that should have stayed with the artist. The biggest lesson here is simple. Never sign anything without a lawyer reviewing it first. Doesn't matter how close the relationship feels or how sweet the deal sounds. Independent legal advice is non-negotiable. A lot of industry vets play the mentor role, even the father figure angle. But real mentorship doesn't mean draining someone's pockets. Flashy mansions and luxury lifestyles create illusions. And that illusion made Blueface believe signing was the path to success. What Blueface didn't realize at the time is that Wack100's wealth wasn't built overnight. It was built by taking massive percentages from multiple artists over the years. And the damage from contracts like this goes way deeper than just money. When artists can't build real wealth from their own success, it blocks everything.